3. Got another T-shirt. All that.
Okay. Which hero are we right now? Invisible Man?
Like that.
Firework Man? Which one is it?
I'm all like, goodness, what is going on? Hold on.
Invisible Man.
I didn't see all that.
Oh, wow.
Now it's in your face, Karama.
Poof. Oh. Wow.
Is that an accident or on purpose?
Girl, it's his magical powers kicking in, girl.
It is the prophecy. I don't know, man. That's crazy.
So you
Okay,
guys, we're back. What Soul Sisters Say is back for part 3 with Karama Sadaka, because party just keeps getting wilder and wilder. So we're still talking about mental wellness, and you probably heard lots of things in his story. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to email us, whatsoulsistersay@gmail.com. And do you want to give out any information, Karama?
Just the spelling of my name, Karamasadaka, and that is my actual name. You can be one word or two, because I use, I have it as my username, and that's really me. I'm literally the only Karama Sadaka in America. So instead of me giving you 15 links, Google me. For real. It's right. When you Google Karama Sadaka, you can find me. So.
Okay, so do you guys have any questions? Are we going to pick up where we left off? How are we going to do this last, hopefully, well, we'll see. Maybe it'll be more. But this last portion of mental wellness. And, I mean, my last question was just about how important it was. So if y'all have a question, I think we need to kind of like.
I think that we want to hit it after the cliffhanger. I mean,
I have one question before that, because suicide is such a big deal.
Yep.
Amongst young kids with cutting and different things like that. It's one of the #1 killers that's going around right now in America. So I want to know, at what age? I know you had thoughts since 5, but I want to know, at what age did those thoughts kind of go to another level?
The difference between a suicidal thought and a suicidal ideation is something that a lot of people don't know about. And it was when it moved over into ideations. That just happened. There was nothing that I did to make that happen, but I noticed it. It's the difference between having the passing thought of, I don't think people will be sad if I wasn't here. That little spark right there is what'll lead to something deadly later. Because I didn't just think that, I believed it. And again, I had the background of, okay, let me just go see my daddy. Let me just go to sleep and wait. So that automatically, me thinking that death wasn't permanent and all of this is going to come back, me not understanding that is what led to that being a thought that wasn't crazy to me. It was just like, okay, it's just logical the way I was figuring it out. But when it moved over into an ideation, and when I say ideation, I mean, you're thinking of taking the pill and just not waking up. That's one way. But the ideation is when you see yourself slitting your throat, or you imagine yourself jumping off a building, or you imagine yourself jumping out in traffic. Like, it's the act that I'm going to do it, as opposed to it passively me not just waking up. No, I'm going to do something to end this. And when that happened, I was 12. I had just become an ordained baptized minister. And it was the difference between being a member of the congregation versus being an actual baptized person. Now you're stuck. And I think I realized that when I was 12. Like, I realized it quick, within maybe a couple of days, how serious it was now, because now I have certain responsibilities and there's more accountability. Now I'm responsible for not just my father, but the people who are under me now in the congregation. And the congregation is built like a family. You got individual, actual family members there, and then you got other people that you treat as your extended family. Then there are other congregations, and all of those congregations together make up a circuit. All of the circuits together make up a district, and all of the districts together make up the entire country of witnesses. So as you move along, and keep in mind, like I said, I was 12. When they laid it out for me, what my life was going to be, it's almost like you thinking you getting baptized for God, but you actually just signed a contract to this religious organization. And me realizing not the full scope of it, but enough of it to see like, I am never going to be able to chill. But for instance, most people know witnesses from knocking on your doors on Saturday. The reason people know that is because that's when you home. We've been out every day. Y'all just wasn't here. People who are home every day will tell you that they heard from witnesses on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. But most people know it's from Saturday. It's the difference between finding out we go in field service on Saturday versus finding out you do it every day. And now it's your job, because you're not just a member anymore. Now you're expected to be a leader, and you're taking people out and you're supposed to set examples. Like there's actual repercussions with me now. If I do something that I'm not supposed to, or I say something, or I get caught slipping at all. What you say?
So I have a question now that you talk about knocking on doors.
Yep.
Were you a door knocker?
I absolutely was. I was damn good at it too.
Wow.
I haven't done that in 25 years, and I could still get you right now if I wanted to.
Not me, because I don't answer the door. Well, I don't.
Let me
Anyway,
ask
so when I
this.
saw him coming, I never answered the door. I just was like, I'm not for that. And they
Let me
keep
ask you
pushing me.
this. Do they still believe all these years later, do they still have the same belief system as far as if you don't join this organization, everybody else is gonna die?
Yeah, that ain't changed.
Yeah.
I have two daughters actually. The oldest one is in college. She is when I say my success story, I don't want to take credit for her stuff, but that's my baby. But I also have a younger daughter who just turned 18 last month, almost a month ago. And when she was turning 17, I called her and was, she's in 11th grade. And I'm basically explaining to her, if you're gonna go to college, you don't wait till the end of your senior year to figure out where you're going. Like, you got to start prepping this early. So I'm talking to her. She straight up told me, well, I appreciate it, but I'm going to get baptized and dedicate my life as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. And it stopped me in my tracks. It was one of those, it's like if you find out your child is on drugs for God. You can't say nothing about it, but crack for Jesus ain't the look. That's not what we're going for. It was kind of like that. So I know by me growing up in it that her telling that to her father should have been a momentous, joyful occasion. She should have been able to share that with me. And I'm like, great, baby. I'm so proud of you. Jehovah's so proud. But me as I am now, I'm like, oh, fuck, okay. And I couldn't let her know that. So it was more like, baby, look, I'm not one of them, but I'm still your daddy and I still love you. I still support you through whatever. So this also means that once you get baptized, you're not going to be able to talk to me anymore, doesn't it? She's like, yeah. So.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's what you were saying too before we ended the last video, that your own mom just owned you.
My God.
Yeah, my entire family, everybody in my family. And so let me go back to when you're growing up in it. There are pictures that you're shown all the time in videos of the end of the world, and they call it Armageddon. So from the time I was a kid, like I remember I told y'all, my mama snatched the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus and all of that kids normally have to hold on to. Well, Santa Claus gonna be here this year. I ain't never looked forward to Santa Claus. I was looking forward to my daddy coming back. Now, what had to happen before that was Armageddon. So I need you to understand that from the time I was 5 years old, I was fully prepared for everybody on this planet to die so I could see my daddy again.
Wow.
And
then only 144,000.
Yep.
Right. Now I have a serious question because I didn't know that about if your daughter signs over, she can no longer have a relationship with you, because remember, I have a friend that's a Jehovah Witness. So Jehovah Witnesses have to go to work, and you have to have relationships at work. So you can have a relationship at work, but you can have a relationship with your own parent.
Yep.
Now
because you are a potential prospect. They can still convert you. They ain't gonna convert me. You still got
Wow.
hope. I guarantee. Look, I'm gonna tell you this straight up, because again, we fam. I ain't gonna hold this back from you. You think that's your friend? She invited you
But
to the
no, I
Kingdom
know.
Hall?
Well, you know what? Work friends. You know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
I know what you mean, but I'm telling you from the
Yeah.
outside,
I
it's
use
different.
friend too loosely. I really do.
Gotcha. I tell you what, if you ever had a conversation with her and told her that you was an atheist, or if you told her that you just straight up, there's
Oh
nothing
no.
she could ever tell you that would make you come to the Kingdom Hall, the whole conversation changes. The whole
Yeah.
vibe, everything,
We
because now you done went from being a potential convert to a potential demonic influence. Is how
no.
they
We
look.
had some serious conversations because we did hair together in the same salon. That's actually how we met.
Gotcha.
But I think with women, it's just I'm gonna respect you in your space. You respect me in my space. So we had a work friendship relationship, but we didn't do anything outside of work. We did, we didn't. We talked on the phone, and she talked on the phone with me. And because she would call me for all different types of things, but
Mm.
it was an unspoken understanding of I'm not trying to convert you, you're not going to try to convert me. But I did have a lot of questions because I'm always so curious about a lot of different types of religions. But that part I never knew about. She never
Which part?
shared the part about where she told me you can't have relationships with people outside of the Kingdom Hall. She did say that, but she didn't say anything about the family members having to have that type of detachment. I don't remember her. She probably never shared a lot of the negative things, but she did tell me some things that will go on in the Kingdom Hall. And if they find out certain things that get in your business, you get in a certain type of punishment, or you can get put out of the Kingdom Hall and all this other kind of stuff. So I have heard stories like that, but I never heard that. So when you said that, I was like, well, wait a minute. You can have work relationships, but you can't have a relationship with a parent. And she's 18 years old. So then the woman you had the baby with, you all met when y'all both were Jehovah Witnesses then. Is that
Yep.
correct? Okay.
Yep. I was 16. She was 19. And
When you got
um,
married, you were 16?
no, I was married when I was 19. But when I met my ex-wife, she was 19. I was 16. But you got to remember, I got skipped when I was a kid. So she
Right.
graduated in 91. I graduated in 92. So she didn't even know I was that much younger than her. It just, I was, keep in mind, again, golden child. I was
Right.
that dude at Kingdom Hall. So it didn't matter. I had been on stage since I was 5. Like everything that you say about this amazing person is, and he got an African name, girl, and he cute. I think he Creole, and he do poems too. Yeah, man. It was on me. But then, see, that's the stuff other people would say about me. And then you meet me and you find out, no, man, I'm just waiting for everybody to die. Like I am one of the most depressing people you ever wanted to be around, but I was funny as hell. So it was like, people would get around me and not know if they should be laughing or crying or both. And it was just this weirdness. And I wasn't supposed to be interacting with people who wasn't witnesses. So when I was at school, I ain't say shit. I was just, I did my
Very
work.
quiet.
I'm
Very
glad
quiet.
you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up, that you were down, depressed, and just waiting for everybody to die. Because those are the type of things like that will make you raise an eyebrow and go against the grain. Because when I was in Christianity, the religious side of it, and more bondage side of it, I used to go to church every Sunday, every time the doors open, because I was that dedicated, but I would still go home empty and down and sad and depressed, and I didn't feel good unless I was in the house of the Lord. So those are the type of things right there that should make you raise an eyebrow and ask the question, why do I still feel this way? And why do people believe that this all-knowing, all-seeing God we serve has to be so evil on the other hand and cast you into the pits of hell? Or like you say, everybody gotta die. Like, do I really want to serve an entity like that? These are the questions that we need to start asking, common sense questions.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Yes, Lord. Yes.
People only ask those questions when they have a strong mind. There's a difference. There's a person who can watch TV all day long and be sold everything from the commercials that come on, and then there's another type of person that a commercial come on and that doesn't move us. We can't be hypnotized. But then there's a majority of the world can be manipulated. That's why they have so much of that stuff, because a majority of people don't have a strong mind. There's
Yep.
very few people that have a strong mind to be themselves and do what they do and buck the system and go against the grain and, you know, move outside the lines. If it wasn't that, we wouldn't even really be doing this show.
So then I
True.
have a question, Karama.
All right.
So now, in your mental state, what are some of your practices? Because that's a long time to live under that type of mental bondage.
Oh wait, I didn't even tell y'all the crazy stuff. The stuff, everything I told y'all was the setup. I didn't tell y'all what was crazy.
Setup.
Yeah, I can tell y'all the crazy stuff in under a minute and be done with it.
Okay. But
Okay,
after
so
you tell
remember
us the crazy stuff, then just kind of give some points, some tips on how to stay in a healthy mental space. Or
Yep,
how to
that
get.
all of this ties in together.
Okay,
This was what broke me, because it was like, oh, okay, forget this. Let's start this from scratch.
Okay,
All right.
perfect.
So I told y'all about the day that my uncle had the conversation with me. That was a Sunday. Literally, I'm walking to the Kingdom Hall. When he got to the point about my daughter, we were like 30 feet from the door. So he said that, and I snapped out of my spell for a second, and it was only for a minute, because I just got right back into it. I was like, wait a minute, it's not a cult. These are God's chosen people and blah, blah, blah. So I'm quoting all of this, my programming kicked back in. So I go in there and I sit in the meeting and I couldn't concentrate. I was like, something's off. I couldn't figure out what it was. So I leave there and I go home and I'm with my wife and my daughters, and I'm just not right. I couldn't figure out what it was. And I asked her, have you ever read anything in the magazines that wasn't true? That's what started it. And she's like, no, everything is true. And I was like, wait a minute. I get it if you say everything in the Bible is true. I get it if you say that's the good word of God. Got you. God didn't write this magazine. Some people wrote this magazine. People like us. You can't tell me that they're perfect. So she's telling me like every answer she gave was a witness program answer. But for the first time in my life, I was actually thinking. I was being my normal self, being presented with witness stuff. And it's like, nah, I'm not falling for that. So I kept trying to tell her there was a prophecy that didn't come true. They said the world was going to end before 2000. And we were having this conversation in 2005 in July. So, okay, we have this conversation. I tell her and I start doing research, and I'm like, I started doing research on Sunday. By Wednesday, I was convinced it was a cult. I was just like, okay, no, I'm not dealing with this. I have missed over half my life missing out on stuff. Like I was smart for real. Like I took the ASVAB test, and the people tried to recruit me and told me that he could have got me my master's in 2 years based on the scores I had. And I had to turn it down because I'm a conscientious objector as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. So I am trying to I'm doing all of this research online. I'm looking like I'm crazy. I'm typing and figuring this out. And I explained to my wife that I didn't believe this was true. And she looked me in my eyes and said, oh, the devil got you. Satan got you under his control. And I was like, wait, what? Like, what are you talking about? This girl kicked me out. And I went, like, we had just got back together. And it was this whole thing of like, hold on, this is not beef between me and you. This is me saying these people who you ain't never met are lying. Like, why you mad with me? Like, they lied to me too. Because for me to accept that they was lying, I had to let go of my lifelong hope of seeing my daddy again. That was not a small thing. So for me to even get to that point, I'm like, you was a witness because your mama's a witness. I was a witness because at 5 years old, my mama told me that was how I was going to see my daddy again. We just ate the same animal. So I need to be sure that this is true. Because if this is not true, I got all kinds of stuff I want to do in my life. Right. So she kicked me out. Like I said, it was July. I'm thinking we gonna get back together. Ain't no big deal. So a month goes by, and I'm still performing my poetry. And then another couple weeks go by, and next thing you know, they got this hurricane coming. We ain't really paying attention to it because we think it ain't gonna be no big deal. And so I talked to her, what y'all doing for the storm? Oh, we gonna stay. I talked to my mama, what y'all doing for the storm? We gonna stay, baby, but we can't be talking because you no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses, so we can't be talking on the phone like this. And I'm like, Ma, I'm asking you about a hurricane. I ain't ask you what you ate for lunch. Like,
And not
come on,
only
keep it
that,
real.
you're her son, and that was
Yes.
your wife. So those people are willing to get
To
rid of
completely
everybody
destroy
that they
family.
love.
Yep.
That doesn't sound like a God that I want to serve. You know what I
It
mean?
doesn't.
That's just exclusive. That's not all
Yep.
inclusive.
Yep.
That's
So,
sad. It's sad.
obviously, y'all know what happened in August 2005.
It happened in August 2005. So your uncle did plant the seed then.
Yes, yes. My
Yes.
uncle woke me up. My uncle planted that seed. It's like when I tell people about the movie Inception, and I'm like, y'all have no idea how deep that actually is. Somebody can say one thing to you, and that one idea takes hold and changes your life, and you become everything that you become was based on that one spark that was lit.
Yeah.
And that the person sitting here that's capable of telling you all this now was the person my uncle woke up on the corner that day. So
Right.
I'm, waiting and waiting. And I didn't go and get my own apartment and start dating somebody else. I went to live with my wife's brother, my brother-in-law. So like I said, I thought we was getting right back together. So I'm like, look, man, I'm just chill here, sleep on the sofa for a little bit, eat, hang out with you. Then I'm gonna go my ass back home. I didn't think this was some, make them or break them type thing. Then Katrina hits. And remember, my family told me they weren't leaving. So I had an opportunity to get out. And somebody was straight up like, hey, man, we about to leave. You want to go? I could not imagine leaving my family in a hurricane. I said, no, there's no way I'm going to do that. I know my family wouldn't leave me. I'm not going to leave them. So I let my ride go. And then I walked to my mama's house. And they said, look for me. They was gone.
They left?
Everybody. They
left you.
left me there after telling me that they wasn't going to leave.
Oh, wow.
And so here's what I was saying earlier. The pictures that they showed us of Armageddon, these are pictures of people on the ground dead. These are pictures of buildings messed up. These are pictures, like we saw this as a child. So whereas most children I know grew up looking at fairy tale books or looking at like the giant and Jack and the Beanstalk, little fairy tales or Goldilocks and the Three Bears. I didn't get those. I got stories from the Bible. I got stories of David and Goliath. I got in-depth stories. Like everybody knows that David shot the slingshot and killed Goliath, but people don't normally know what happened after that. Like David ran up, grabbed the dude's sword and cut his head off. So this theme in my life is always people getting decapitated. So I was desensitized from that as a kid. The reason I bring that up is because when you get disfellowshipped or kicked out of the witness organization, they basically, y'all remember Color Purple? Well, until you do right by me, everything you do gonna crumble. The witnesses got, you saw the hand?
Right.
The witnesses have their own version of that. Whereas they explain like outside of God's organization, inside God's organization is the light. Outside of God's organization, everybody's in darkness. And once you outside, you under complete demonic control. It's the same thing as the Matrix. Like, hey, if you're not plugged into the Matrix, if you outside of Zion, any agent can get to you. It could be somebody you think is your grandma. You turn around, they're the agent now. That's the same thing they say with witnesses. Like, okay, yeah, you think that's your grandma, but your grandma offering you some Halloween candy. That's the devil. Blah, blah, blah. So it teaches you to scared everybody. Yeah, you scared everybody, and you are focused on death. So when Katrina hit, I was there for 8 days, and I was in denial the first day because my mama told me they wasn't leaving. This wasn't my stepdad. This wasn't my brother. This was my mama. My mama told me they wasn't leaving, and I went across the street. My brother then was gone too, and that moment changed me. That moment was like, oh, they left me for real. Like,
For real.
Ain't nobody gonna turn around and say, we was just playing, bro. Come on, get in the car. No, y'all going for real. Like when push came to shove, y'all fucking left me, man. Like,
yeah, they must have decided to leave at the last minute.
Okay, let's go with that. Because ain't nothing in that moment was making me say, well, maybe they just did it. Let's just now.
But you know what though, Karama?
She had already told you. She had already told you that y'all can't be talking, and she had basically already told you. You already knew the rules, but I guess you're stuck in normalcy, and being an earth angel, you know that that's not the correct way, but what we're finding out in our life now is that sometimes your family is not really your family. You have a soul family. Could not, so
I found that out right then and there.
But that's what I was getting ready to say, Karama. They actually left you before the storm.
Yep.
This is
Yep.
that, which is really, really sad.
Yeah,
And
but
it's
this
the
was
thing,
like that door, that cement door though, like.
Yeah, this was one of them, like, hold on, like, okay, up until that point.
he was in denial.
Yeah, I could have been like, all right, look, you can say what you want. Your mom ain't gonna talk to you. I know my mom ain't gonna leave me. Like, hold on, gift from God?
Right.
Really?
Right.
Like, come on, yeah, I'm not the golden child. Like, hold on.
Wow.
I earned a lot of this. So my thing is, like, when push, like I said, when push come to shove, what you did with your gift from God, left him in the floodwaters. The monster that I became in that moment, because it was just like, I have no family. I have nothing to live for. And remember, I'm thinking, this is Armageddon. Oh, that's what they would always say. Armageddon's coming any day now and blah, blah, blah. So it was one of those, they're witnesses. I'm not. They left me to go be with other witnesses. This must be Armageddon. So I believed during the aftermath of Katrina that this was God's judgment upon me. So when I'm crossing dead bodies, this is just like the books I grew up looking at. When they talk about food shortages and pestilences and all of this stuff, all of that was there in the aftermath of Katrina. And I not only thought that I was going to die, I thought I was already dead. It was one of them like, oh, because day one was one thing. By the time we got to day 5, it had been stopped playing. Like, this was, this ain't let's sit here and hope and pray. Hope and praying was day 2 and 3. Day 5, 6, 7, and 8, no, it's get up off your ass and get up out of here. So all of that going on. Day 5, I had been calling people the whole time. None of the phones were working. It's just all hell breaking loose. I ain't got to bring up, every detail for Katrina. But during the aftermath on day 5, I reached my brother. My brother answers the phone, and I'm flipping out. Everybody in the little group I'm with had been trying to use the phone. I had been using the phone, but nobody was able to reach anybody. So I'm the first person to actually get somebody to answer the phone. So the whole group is like, oh, we all saved. Brother gets on the phone. I say, hey. He's like, hey, man, where you at? I'm in New Orleans. He said, holla at me when you get out. Click.
What?
Oh my God.
Is this the older brother? Is this the older brother or younger brother?
I'm the oldest. That's my younger brother.
Wow.
When this dude hung the phone up on me, like, okay, so like I told y'all, the monster that started coming out when I realized my family was gone. Oh, that wasn't shit on the monster that happened when they hung up on me.
Oh, I can imagine.
That was because you could, just like earlier when you said they probably left at the last minute. I wasn't there. All of that could have happened. Dude, that was me you spoke to. That was me you hung up on. I'm this dude that brought you in the house, changed your diaper, all that. All right, bro. So I am personally telling y'all, and this is still mental wellness. I am telling y'all, I went into a place of darkness that was so deep after that dude hung up on me.
Yeah.
Because it was like, okay, y'all left me. That could have been negligence. You hanging up on me, telling me you don't matter if I live or die.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what carried
he was
me,
how old at that age?
Katrina, he would have been 25.
We got 10 minutes, y'all.
He was 25. We got to do a part 4. We got to do a part 4.
Well, wait, Karama,
Yes.
what would you tell people that are, because I know we're going to have some people that are Jehovah Witnesses watching this video. What would you tell people that are far gone in the kingdom? We're not saying nothing against different religions, but what would you tell someone that's still in the Jehovah Witnesses?
let's end with that. Let's end with that.
We finish that. Okay, you saw the magic happening. I was about to.
You know, people are gonna be thinking he possesses some crazy.
Right.
Devil, ain't nothing but the devil.
Yeah, you see
That's
his light, his
technology, I
eyes turning
swear.
orange.
Oh,
That
I didn't
orange-
see it. Wow, that's
That orange
crazy.
again.
Wow.
Okay, so to wrap everything up, it was after Katrina. I ended up getting evacuated and going to Nashville.
You're still
And it was-
orange.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
Hold on.
you're so techie. You're so
I ended
techie.
up, there I go, see? I ended up going, wow. I ended up going to Nashville, and it was there, one of the Red Cross workers, we got close. And from there, of course, I find out, I talk to my family again, and it's all like, what the hell? Y'all left me. And they were coming up with all kinds of reasons and all kinds of other stuff, and we didn't know that was gonna happen. Really? Then why you left if you ain't know that was gonna happen? So it
And
was.
wait, did your mom and them know that you had had that conversation with your brother on the phone and he had hung up on you? Did y'all
No,
have that
no, no.
conversation?
No. Actually, we did. My brother ended up catching cancer that year.
The 25-year-old?
Yes, male breast cancer.
Wow.
And when my mama got into contact with me, her thing was call your brother. Remember, this is a different monster she talking to. I'm like, call who? I ain't got no brother. My brother hung up on me. I don't have no brother after that. She's like, you need to talk to him. And you the older brother. No, all that be the bigger person stuff died in Katrina. I left that in the flood water. Y'all don't know this new me. So as much as I would say that to people, the truth of the matter was I didn't know the new me either. So
Yeah.
by my girl, okay, so the Red Cross worker, she got divorced. I got divorced within 2 weeks of each other. That's who I'm still with now.
Really? No.
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm telling you, I got a crazy Katrina story.
How did you get to Nashville? How did y'all end up getting to
Helicopter.
Nashville?
Oh, Keisha,
A
we got
helicopter.
7 minutes.
Wait.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a whole other thing.
because I want to hear about the relationship with the family as of today. So we need to we have to do a part 4.
Okay, I can tell you part of it right now. So I've devised a way to separate my relatives from family. If we can, that's not choice. That's not something we chose. I choose my family. And
Right.
my family happens to have a couple people in it that are related to me. Now, the same brother we talk about, I ended up rescuing him and my daughter out of the witnesses. And to me, that is my proudest accomplishment of all time. Forget anything else I've ever done.
Okay, so before we go, what would you tell people that are deep?
And wait, before we get on to that, what about the relationship with your mom?
That's not gonna be a quick second.
Yeah,
we got 6 minutes. That's plenty of time.
No,
Doesn't fresh did it in 6 minutes.
No pressure, Karama. No pressure.
I'm good with it. I gotta fix this picture because I look crazy.
Yeah, you're orange, but there's somebody watching this that is gonna hear you.
Yeah.
Okay. What would I tell the people who are deep in it right now? Nothing. Stay there. Bye. What would I tell the people who having doubts? Your doubts are valid. You have never done research outside of the organization. If you were in a relationship with somebody who told you, don't believe anything you ever hear about me, and believe that I'm the only one who's going to save you, I'm the only person that's good for you, I would tell you you're in an abusive relationship. I would tell you that person is gaslighting you. I would tell you you need to seek help, find out what you need to do about yourself and the healing that needs to take place so you can be a fully functioning human, able to contribute to the society in which you live. And you will never do that in the Kingdom Hall. Yeah. You will never do that as one of Jehovah's Witnesses. You need to start doing research. Find out about the 2-witness rule. Find out and ask the elders why, if somebody is raped or molested, that they need to have 2 witnesses to a rape or molestation before you can believe that person's word. Find out why they went to the ARC, the Australian Royal Commission, and found out that the witnesses had withheld thousands of child sexual abuse cases. Find out about all of these lawsuits that's happening, that the witnesses are refusing to pay these fines and these fees, and find out why you don't know that information, why you can't access it. Google is your friend. When you get out the Kingdom Hall, Google everything I'm telling you. by yourself. Go in the bathroom, pretend you're still praying. Pretend you're studying your Watch Time and Awake magazine for the weekend, for the meeting, and just go in there and Google and study for yourself. That's it.
Do people live at the Kingdom Hall?
Say it again.
Do people live at the Kingdom Hall, or is that just their place of worship?
Place of worship, but they use it so much they might as well live there. But no, it's not. It's not like an apartment or anything. It's a big room with no windows.
Wow. Well, that's an awesome and amazing story. I know we got 3 minutes left, but I just wanted to quickly say
I love y'all too.
we
Thank
love you, Karama, and we accept you. We accept every bit of you.
I still have one more question.
Okay.
Yo, I have to know the answer to this.
What's that?
I can't remember, right? I can't remember.
Okay, well, while she's trying to remember,
we got 3 minutes.
We may invite you back for different conversations. We don't want to just talk about Jehovah Witnesses and the mental bondage that came with that. We're glad that you're out and that your mental state is well. Your daughter's out. Continue to do your art.
Thank you.
You guys still hit like, share, subscribe.
And hit the notification.
Notifications.
The videos.
Absolutely. This is great, y'all. I wish. First of all, I'm being.
No, this needs to be on
so
Netflix,
flattered.
homie, and you need to do a book, okay?
You do, Karama.
I'm gonna do a cartoon because ain't nobody gonna believe this shit.
Let me tell you, nothing keeps my attention. They'll tell you. I don't read, I barely watch the movies or shows. I'm ready for the part 4. You need to do something with this. This is serious. This is better than.
No, seriously, Karama, your story will help free and heal a lot of people. And not only that, your book can become a movie. This is really good information.
And you get your contract with Netflix. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I told y'all this was gonna be good. I told y'all that.
Thank you.
Some of the real documentaries I see on Netflix, I'm like, I can't believe this shit is real. It's always the most popular things. The true life stories are always the most popular.
Yep.
And you only get it on what's so like,
absolutely.
Share, subscribe.
First guest, first time.
Yes.
I don't know how we booked you, but yeah.
Because it's y'all, it's fam. Look, I follow y'all. So anytime you say, hey, you want to do? Yep. You ain't got to finish it. Yep, I'm there. Holla. You got it.
All right. We will be right back with part 4 so we can sum it up because we still have to find out about Karama's relationship with his mother as of date. That's important. A mother.
We got 3 videos. We got 3 videos to upload.
Also, the 25-year-old with the breast cancer and the actual meanings behind breast cancer, which stem from unforgiveness. That's a crucial message as well.
That's a 4 and 5 then. We may have to book you next week. Karama.
No, I think we can do this in 4. I think we can do this in one more video. Don't you think you can finish it up in one more?
We got less than a minute.
Yeah,
Karama, I appreciate you. I really do.
Thank you, Karama.
Sisters, I love y'all. Until next time.
No, we're gonna be right back. No next time.
Not tonight. I gotta go. I gotta go.
Y'all holla. Whenever you with it, I'm with it.
I'm just gonna let this ride out, and it's gonna zap like it did the last time.
No, you need to stay your ass up and go get a coffee right quick. Because we can really finish it in about 30 minutes. It might even be 20 or 15. It's not going to be the whole hour.
Yeah, because we pretty much caught up. Because after Katrina, it jumps to here now. Like I'm the same person.
Yeah, we just got to finish up with a few little things. And that's important. Everybody was inquiring my